Hi friends, welcome to another episode of Indian vegetarian meal plan at Vidya's Vegetarian Kitchen. Hope you all enjoyed the last episode. Thank you for all your feedback, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, and let's get started with today's menu. So today I'm going to share tomato rice, or as we say in Tamil, takkali sadam, and garbanzo beans stir fry, vella konda kadalai sundal, and of course onion raita. So what I have done is I've taken 1 cup of rice and I have already pressure cooked it by adding 2 cups of water. You can cook the rice in your preferred way. You can either cook in rice cooker or pressure cooker or instant pot, however you want, even open pot method. And leftover rice works great for this recipe as well. And same with garbanzo beans. I've taken 1 cup of garbanzo beans and soaked it for about 4 hours, and I have pressure cooked along with the rice. You can prepare tomato rice in different ways, and today I'm going to share a version where we don't need any garam masala or any dry garam masala ingredients like cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, etc. Just we need shallots or small onions, tomato, cumin seeds, and red chilies. So that's all you need for this tomato rice. I'm going to be grinding this all together. You can grind these the day before, and even you can also saute it and keep it ready. So in the morning you can just mix it with rice and pack it for your lunch, and with raita it goes really well. So I'm taking 4 tomatoes of this size. If you're using tomatoes little bigger than this, you can just use 3 tomatoes. So I'm using 4 for this recipe, and I'm just using 1 garlic, but this garlic is completely optional. You can skip this as well. So now I'm going to be quickly chopping this tomatoes into small cubes. Pressure cooker helps a lot. So as you can see, I cooked the rice and the garbanzo beans together, so it saves some time. I'm gonna be grinding 1 garlic, 5 shallots. These are white pearl onions. You can use the regular red variety as well. So and these are Byadage variety chilies. I personally prefer them because they give nice color, but it's not very spicy too. 3 chilies and 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds. So let me just roughly grind this first. So now I'm going to be adding tomatoes a little. I'm not going to add everything at once, so give it a stir once. So now the remaining tomatoes, we want it to be smooth paste, so I've added all the tomatoes now. So here it is. I'm gonna pulse it one more time. So here it is. So now the tomato rice paste mix is ready. So I'm gonna be cooking the tomato rice and the garbanzo bean sundal parallelly, and I'm using 1 big onion. So I'm gonna be using half of this onion for the garbanzo beans and half of this for the onion raita. The tomato rice doesn't call for big onion, so I'm just gonna be using this onion for garbanzo beans stir fry and for raita. As I said, I'm gonna be using 1 big onion, so half of it I'm gonna be using it for raita and half of it for the garbanzo bean sundal. So I'm just gonna chop this and make the raita first, and then I'm gonna chop the other half for the garbanzo bean sundal. The thing with onion is you don't want to chop them well ahead and keep it, because onion attract germs. I usually don't prefer refrigerating them also, so I just chop the required amount for the recipe and I just use them up. adding this to this vessel where I'll be mixing the raita. I'm going to be adding one ripe green chili. You can use just regular green chili as well, but I just had this ripe one, so. And a little bit of cilantro. So I'm going to be adding half cup of yogurt, homemade one, with 2% milk. I'm going to be adding this. Just mix. About 3/4 teaspoon of salt would do for this measure, but you can always adjust the salt amount as per your preference and depending upon the sourness of the curd also. So I've used 3/4 teaspoon of Himalayan salt, the pink salt, and that's it. Onion raita is done. So now I'm going to chop the other half of the onion and we can get started with the cooking. So I'm going to be making the tomato rice in this pan. So I'm going to be adding oil, 2 to 3 teaspoons should do. So this is a half teaspoon measure spoon. 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 1 teaspoon of urad dal, and 2 teaspoons of channa dal. So you need that crunchiness of channa dal in this recipe, and it gives a nice texture as well as it adds a unique flavor. So as always, little bit of asafoetida and curry leaves. Curry leaves, I would recommend not to skip curry leaves. Again, curry leaves and chana dal adds a unique flavor to this recipe. So as you can hear, the mustard seeds are already spluttering. So now I'm going to be adding this mixture, like the tomato paste that we made. A little bit of turmeric powder, 1.5 teaspoon of salt. So now we have to cook this in medium heat. So I've kept the gas measure in 5. I'm going to cook this until all the water is absorbed actually. So the mixture is now like a gravy, so I want all the water to be absorbed. So I'm going to cook until then, and meanwhile let's just quickly make the garbanzo beans stir fry. Let's start with the garbanzo beans stir fry. So just 1 teaspoon of oil is sufficient for this. I'm going to be adding a little bit of mustard seeds. So I'm just adding half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, half teaspoon of urad dal, and half teaspoon of chana dal, and lot of asafoetida, because for all the beans and legumes it's better to add a lot of asafoetida as it helps with digestion. So let it splutter. So now I'm adding the chopped onion. So I'm gonna cook until the onion turns translucent. I usually add salt at this stage because it helps the onion to cook faster. 1 teaspoon of salt is sufficient. So I didn't add any salt while cooking the garbanzo beans. So I'm just gonna be, whatever salt I'm adding now is the salt for both the beans and the onion. And as you can see, the tomato rice mixture is slowly thickening. So it's still there's a lot of moisture, so just mix it once in for every minute or so. It usually takes about 5 to 7 minutes. So now I'm adding the garbanzo beans. A little bit of red chili powder, around like half teaspoon. So I don't want it to be too spicy, so just half teaspoon, but you can adjust it as per your preference. And little bit of turmeric powder, and I'm reducing the heat to low because garbanzo beans is already cooked and we just want all the spices to be incorporated, so we don't need to cook it on a high heat. And now you can see here is our tomato rice mixture. So pretty much 80% of the water is all absorbed, so I'm just gonna let it sit for 2 more minutes, and then I'll be turning off the heat and adding the rice. And the garbanzo bean stir fry is all done, so I'm just going to turn off the heat and add some chopped cilantro. I've turned off the heat. As you can see, all the moisture is absorbed. So now I am going to be adding the rice in this one, and just added about 1 tablespoon of cilantro, and this is also done. So the tomato rice is ready. I just added few cilantro, like a tablespoon of cilantro, and mixed it. So that's it. The entire meal is done. So it is tomato rice, garbanzo beans stir fry, and onion raita.